Hello. Bruno, how's France? Did you collect any new bullet holes? I know how you love to be shot at. I'm teasing. I'm glad you're not damaged. Did you at least encounter an exotic temptress or two? Really? What was her name? What do you mean you don't remember? That's horrible. Of course, I'm famished. Are you buying? Then it's a date. Let's say Maximilian's in half an hour. Ciao. I'm not very happy, you know. It's not like I thought it would be.
I never promised it would be as exhilarating as your former trade, only that it would keep you out of jail and make it easier to sleep at night.
More wine?
You're the first female operative Unity has ever employed. The committee is old-fashioned. They need time to get used to the idea of a woman in this line of work.
I know all that, but at this rate I'll be a bloody grandmother before they give me a real assignment.
You can always go back to burglary and pickpocketing if you can't live without excitement.
Damn it, that's not what I'm saying. I just want to be challenged. I'm sick of wiretaps. I'm sick of eavesdropping on boring strangers who may or may not pose some trivial threat to international security because they forgot to declare a ham sandwich at Heathrow. I don't have the patience for it. It's not what I'm good at.
It's never fun paying one's dues, but we all have to endure a bit of frustration and tedium now and then. Builds character.
I think I've paid my bloody dues.
Is that what you think? God knows I loathe sermons, but I'll tell you right now that you'll never stop paying your dues. Not ever. I'm sorry you're not happy, but you might as well get used to it. Nobody owes you a damn thing.
You make it sound like I'm some spoiled child. I'm not asking to be coddled. I just want a chance to prove myself.
You're right. I know it's been hard for you, but I'm confident you'll get your chance. All the petty politics in the world won't hold you back.
They've done an outstanding job so far, haven't they?
You see? What did I tell you?
Probably just one of the committee members needing a babysitter on short notice.
Ye of little faith, I'll see you there.
Why don't we go together?
I've an errand to attend to first. You go on ahead.
Agent Archer, how thoughtful of you to join us. I hope we aren't inconveniencing you too awfully with matters of international security.
I'm sorry if I kept you waiting. It won't happen again.
I seem to recall hearing that before.
You'll not have to hear it again.
Let us hope not. Well, if it isn't the inimitable Agent Lowry.
Sorry I'm late, Smithy. You're looking dapper today.
Spare me the disingenuous flattery, old boy. It doesn't suit you.
I was being sincere. It was the one polite thing I could think to say.
You're still upset with me, aren't you? I assure you I have nothing against you personally. You've served us well for many years, but perhaps too many. I firmly believe it is in Unity's best interests that you retire from field operations, and I will continue to campaign to that end until you accept an administrative position.
I'm not upset with you, Smithy. I just don't like you. I do understand your concern, but just because you're too old for the field doesn't mean that I am. Until I'm declared unfit for duty, I will continue to prove it.
I retired voluntarily.
Of course you did.
Perhaps we should dispense with the pleasantries and get down to brass tacks.
Fine.
Lights, please. We lost another agent this afternoon, bringing the total to 7 operatives in 10 days. It is our firm belief that someone is systematically eliminating our undercover agents, which leads us to believe that the clandestine operations section has been compromised. It seems we have a traitor in our midst.
Do you suspect anyone?
We suspect everyone.
7 operatives? That's over half the active list. Why weren't we informed sooner?
You're being informed now. This situation has unfolded rather abruptly.
The assassin left a lily, a regal finale, to be precise, on or near the corpse of each victim. Mean anything to...
Volkov.
Who?
Dmitri Volkov. The regal finale is his calling card.
The name's familiar. What do we know about him?
He's a right bastard.
Anything more specific?
Just what's in his file. Born in Kamchatka in 1921. Distinguished himself as an academic prodigy and master chess player by the age of 8, by which time he'd also earned notoriety for refining various torture techniques on neighbors' pets. It seems he joined the NKVD in 1937 and served as some sort of disciplinarian in a gulag near Kiev. His whereabouts during the war are unknown except for a brief mention in 1943, when he was spotted by an OSS officer at Leningrad interrogating prisoners of war who would later disappear without a trace.
Ah, yes, I remember this fellow. We've had dealings with him before.
Sometime after the war, he emerged again, this time in the employ of Smersh. He's personally credited with well over 1,000 executions, spies and Soviet dissidents for the most part. In 1961, a failed assassination attempt left him without an eye. He was shot in the face at close range by one of our finest agents.
You flatter me, but I shouldn't have missed.
He escaped by throwing himself off a 70-foot cliff into an icy river. It was presumed that he survived, as no body was ever recovered. In fact, rumor has it, he's currently working for an organization calling itself HARM as Director of Executive Action. I don't have to tell you what that means.
What do we know about HARM?
Unfortunately, there's very little about them in our files.
Well, despite the obvious risks, we still have a job to do. In this case, a very important one.
Wet work.
Precisely. And after this recent catastrophe, the two of you are our only available assets.
To be perfectly frank, Agent Archer, you're only getting this assignment because we've no other choice. Matters of such delicacy aren't really the sort of thing we would usually entrust to a woman. Emotional inconstancy and assassination do not make especially good bedfellows, if you take my meaning.
But you shouldn't be ashamed. Administration is a perfectly noble career.
I don't think I like your tone.
I believe what Agent Archer means to say, Smithy, is that she appreciates the chance, however fortuitous, to demonstrate her abilities as an operative, and that she'll endeavour not to disappoint the committee. Isn't that so, Agent Archer?
Aye.
That's not what it sounded like to me.
Enough of this. Time is of the essence. Stop by the toy shop before you go. They've some new gizmos you might find useful. Don't dally too long, though. Your flight leaves at 6 p.m.
Where are we going?
Morocco. Agent Archer, what does HARM stand for?
I haven't figured that out yet.
See if you can't find out. And be careful. Both of you.
If you want to skip a cutscene, simply press the space bar.
So, are you enjoying yourself yet?
Immensely.
Sure you're not bored?
I've waited nearly 4 years for this chance. I think I can endure another half hour.
Good girl. You're growing up.
What do you make of all that talk of a traitor?
It wouldn't be the first time we've had leaky plumbing. Still, it's disquieting to say the least.
It's happened before?
Once. A few years ago, we lost several undercover operatives in Istanbul. Turned out they'd been compromised by the chief's very own administrative assistant. He'd sold us out for a measly 50 quid.
50 quid?
Astonishing, isn't it? Trading men's lives for such a pittance. But spies are rarely well compensated for their treason. I wouldn't be surprised if this new mole is equally underpaid.
Well, I hope when they catch the bastard, they put a bullet right between his eyes. And maybe a boot up his arse for good measure.
You sound ready to volunteer.
I'm dangerous when I'm upset.
That's why you're always in trouble. All right. Munro's headed for the cafe. Watch for him on the second-floor patio, coming from the left.
What about the targets?
Not sure yet.
Pardon me, do you have the time?
No, sir, I do not have a dime, and I don't have much use for beggars.
Not a dime, the time.
Don't get snippy with me, or I'll have you arrested.
Are you deaf?
How dare you threaten me?
Oh, never mind.
Coward!
Excellent shooting.
You don't have to tell me that. I was standing right here.
A little humility might suit you.
I'm teasing. We make a pretty good team.
Damn! They must have spotted you. There's a group of thugs heading your way.
How many?
Looks like 6 of them. Can you handle it?
Of course I can. I'll meet you at the hotel in an hour.
All right. Take care of yourself.
First, I'm going to take
I
care
do
of
not
some
have
evil.
time to make your demise more eventful.
After him.
This is all my fault. If you hadn't been worrying about me, he never would have got the drop on you.
Silly girl. Worrying about you is all I have left.
Don't say that.
I've always had plenty to die for. You've given me something to live for.
Then live.
In your memory, perhaps.
Bruno!
The girl's in the lobby. Kill her.
But why didn't you kill her, Mr. Volkov?
I meant to, but my hunger for revenge distracted me. Let that be a lesson not to be ruled by your emotions.
Excellent advice, sir. Well, I'll go shoot her now.
Make sure there are no witnesses.
You mean we should kill everybody?
First, kill everybody. Then destroy the hotel. Let our enemies search the rubble for answers. They shall find none.
You can't hide from me, Volkov. I'll find you wherever you go.
Kill her, you incompetent fools!
Huh? Who are you?
Good afternoon.
You're wasting your time. I won't talk. I have been trained to resist all forms of torture.
We'll see about that. Did you enjoy that? Spare yourself the suffering. Tell me where I can find Volkov, and you might walk out of here with clean underpants.
Too late for that.
That's disgusting. You don't even know where he is, do you?
Yes, I do!
What was I thinking? Why would Dmitri Volkov tell a lackey like you where he was going?
Dmitri and I are very close. Very close.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't appreciate being called a lackey. I work very hard. It's not easy being a criminal, you know. There's a great deal of pressure.
Goodbye.
Wait, don't go. I don't know where Volkov is, but I do have something you may be interested in.
It should only take about 15 minutes to get to the airport. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Excuse me? Not on your life, you scoundrel! I'm an American citizen! We have morals in America! I don't understand what you're talking about. This is unbearable! Pull over this instant! I'd rather walk to the airport than listen to this filth! I thought this was supposed to be a civilized country!
No sign of her. Are you sure she's coming?
She'll be here. If she gets away, I will kill any man she leaves alive. Am I understood?
Explicitly. No, please!
We will meet again, Miss Archer.
Well, I think we can classify Morocco as a complete disaster. I knew we were asking for trouble, sending a woman and a fossil like Lowry on an assignment like this.
Let's not rush to judgment, shall we?
Rush to judgment? I think the facts speak plainly enough. Ambassador Monroe is dead, and we lost another operative, albeit one who should have been put out to pasture long ago. And all we have to show for it are a belligerent, overeducated captive who knows nothing of use, and Ms. Archer here, who has demonstrated an alarming lack of competence in the field.
I'd like to remind you that Volkov was lying in wait. Someone betrayed us.
Indeed, and it seems that someone may have been your charming mentor.
Bruno? What are you talking about?
The evidence is largely circumstantial, but it is nonetheless compelling.
That's crazy.
In light of information unearthed during our investigation in Morocco, we now believe that Agent Lowry, Bruno, was in league with these harm chaps.
But Volkov shot him.
Perhaps to silence him. Or perhaps Lowry was demanding too much in exchange for his treachery.
Alleged treachery. Lowry was a personal friend and one of our best agents. Unless he is proven guilty, he deserves to be honored, not slandered.
In any case, it seems reasonable to assume that you weren't meant to escape, Miss Archer.
Bruno was not a traitor.
Can you be sure? Every man has his price, every woman too, I expect. When a man reaches the end of his career, it's only natural that he begins to worry about the future. I suppose some men of adaptable moral constitution even find it in themselves to resort to treason.
What's your price, Mr. Smith?
What are you insinuating?
Merely that if Bruno were capable of treason, then so are we all.
Enough! It is neither our prerogative nor our intent to judge Agent Lowry at this juncture. We will continue our investigation until we discover the truth. In the meantime, Archer, we must call upon you for another assignment.
Although we call upon you reluctantly, I assure you.
We've been contacted by an East German biophysicist named Dr. Otto Schenker, who wishes to defect to the West with our assistance. We know that Dr. Schenker is working on a secret Soviet weapons program, although the precise nature of his research remains a mystery to us. He has promised detailed information on the program in exchange for his freedom. It hardly seems necessary to underscore the great importance of this mission. We've had a devil of a time recruiting reliable spies in Berlin. It seems the Stasi have ears to every keyhole in East Germany.
Which is why we're taking extra precautions.
What sort of extra precautions?
It's what we call a domino effect exchange. You'll meet with a series of contacts, each of whom will provide a piece of the puzzle, so to speak. Because the contacts don't know about each other or your mission, the vague information they possess will be meaningless to them, and, by extension, to the Stasi, should they get their hands on it.
Perfect.
We've also arranged a diversion to help cover your escape. Our man on the inside, Werner von Haupt, will place explosive charges at several locations in the record storage area. You'll need to locate these charges and set the timers. We also require that you infiltrate the main library and photograph certain sensitive documents pertaining to Dr. Schenker's research, in case he's not as forthcoming as he's promised to be. Von Haupt will present you with a disguise that should get you inside the test facility where Dr. Schenker will be working. Locate the doctor and get him out.
Keep in mind that if this mission should succeed, we will have struck a mighty blow to the Soviets. We're counting on you, Archer.
I won't let you down.
Well, you can hardly botch this job as badly as Morocco.
You might want to stop by the training facility and test out the new gadgets the toy makers have prepared for you.
Guten Abend, Fräulein. Do you make love to strangers?
Certainly not.
Then allow me to introduce myself.
Why not just introduce yourself to a police officer and spare me the trouble?
Who makes up these ghastly code phrases anyway?
Someone in the cryptography department. Someone in need of a girlfriend, apparently. What do you have for me?
Just this. The entrance is hidden.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Hello.
Are you free tonight, or will it cost me?
More than you can afford.
Why must I be made to say such idiotic things?
Never mind that. Just tell me what you have.
I was told to say, in the basement.
Thank you.
Tell the person who wrote the code phrase to grow up.
Want to come in for a game of Twister?
I'd rather run over you with my car.
These code phrases have a somewhat confessional tone to them, don't you think?
Yeah, now that you mention it.
You are the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Can you cook and clean too?
No, but I can put you in the hospital if you want. Maybe you can find someone to take care of you there. Maybe.
What sort of imbecile says things like this?
I'm afraid to find out.
By the way, I am supposed to tell you this. Behind the shelf.
Thanks.
Please don't think that I enjoyed saying those things to you. Even though the words were not mine, I am so disgusted with myself that I must return home and wash myself with soap.
Don't worry about it.
You are a kind young woman. I wish you luck.
What are you doing here?
I found this money on the ground outside. I thought it might be yours.
Ausgezeichnet. Go quickly. Do not get caught.
Care for a light?
Duncan, I seem to have lost my phone number. Can I have yours?
I'm in the book. Just look under police department.
You're late.
Sorry, I did my best.
No matter. Here, take this visitor ID card. It identifies you as the Commandant's niece, Hannah. It will get you past the front desk, then you're on your own. The staff should ignore you, but watch out for guards and security cameras. They won't be fooled by your disguise.
Thank you.
Go now. If you're caught, I won't be able to help.
I understand.
I almost forgot. I thought you might like this.
Perhaps we should go.
It seems I have no choice. Ein Moment, bitte, my wife.
Alarm! Alarm!
Good girl.
This is your captain speaking. We have reached a cruising altitude of 24,000 feet and will soon be leaving German airspace. I've turned off the seatbelt and no smoking signs. Feel free to move about the cabin. We'll be arriving in London at approximately 6:15 p.m. local time. The temperature is currently 25 degrees centigrade with clear skies. I think we can expect a lovely, relaxing...
Will she be joining you in England?
Sie ist tot. For 2 Jahre. Pardon me, I must get used to speaking English. My wife died 2 years ago.
My condolences, Doctor. I wasn't aware. There's no mention of her demise in our files.
It was not made public. There was an accident at the laboratory during an experiment. She was killed. You are familiar with my line of research?
No, but it must be fascinating.
Quite so. I was the head of the biological explosives research team.
Biological explosives? Sounds rather outlandish, frankly.
Perhaps, but also very real and very dangerous. Imagine an undetectable chemical reagent which can be injected into a living host. The reagent causes a reaction in the organism that culminates in a massive explosion that feeds on organic material. In other words, the effective range of the weapon is dictated by the amount of catalyst in the reagent and the population density at ground zero. In a city, the death toll could be tens of thousands. The speed of the reaction can be controlled with great accuracy by the chemical composition of the reagent.
Human time bombs?
Quite so.
How is such a thing possible?
I spent many years trying to answer that very question. Perhaps you'd care to read an article I've been preparing on the subject. It's rather fundamental, but it will give you a foundation for understanding the larger issues.
I'm deeply honored.
Don't mention it. I feel it is my duty to reward open-mindedness and imagination whenever the opportunity arises. You would make a fine pupil. By the way, I never thanked you. I'm sorry I doubted your competence.
Apology accepted.
We are in position.
You know what to do, Sonny.
Yes, sir. Initiating docking procedure and jamming our communications.
You're up, laddies. We're going aboard.
Was ist los?
I'm not sure. Stay here while I investigate. Keep this door locked. So much for a lovely, relaxing flight.
Sleep tight, lassie.
You're not going to kill her? What if she wakes up?
Now look here, you. I'm not going to butcher a fellow countryman without a specific grudge. If she wakes up, she can fend for herself. If she dies, then she ain't really a Scot, so I won't feel bad. Now, go get that doctor fella and do a final sweep. Take anything that looks important. Papers, files, whiskey, whatever.
Yes, sir.
Something's not right. All right, let's go.
But some of our men are still aboard.
Listen to you crying like a wee girl. They'll have to make do, won't they? That's unexpected. Make sure she doesn't land on her feet.
Please be full of hay! Please be full of hay!
She's a creditor, people.
I'm impressed, Agent Archer. I expected that promoting you to field operations would be disastrous, but I never imagined a catastrophe of these proportions. You've now managed to botch 2 high-profile, high-stakes missions. Care to explain?
I did my best under the circumstances.
Well, now that we've seen you at your best, I'm not sure we can afford to see you on an off day.
Now, Mr. Smith, we've had a few setbacks.
A few setbacks?
Agent Archer, I must confess that I'm troubled by the results we've seen from you thus far. But I also realize that you've been thrust into some formidable situations.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me yet. It's quite probable that things will get worse before they get better.
I don't see how that's possible.
Did you get a look at your assailant?
Aye, that I did.
Did you recognize him?
Sergeant Magnus Armstrong, born in Glasgow, Scotland, 1925. Frequently in trouble as a lad due to a penchant for fighting. By all accounts, he was a good-natured, likable young man. Never bullied anybody, only picked fights with boys that were game for a brawl. Got kicked out of several schools before his parents finally stuck him in a military academy. During the war, he served as a sapper in France and Germany, everything from mine removal to demolitions and sabotage. Earned himself quite a reputation for his reckless antics. The most popular legend had to do with a bridge he allegedly crippled with nothing but a shovel and a hand grenade. A German supply train did the rest. When it reached the weakened section of the bridge, the whole structure came crashing down.
It's a shame this chap ended up on the wrong side of the law.
To the best of our knowledge, he's never been involved in anything this big before. Most of his arrests since returning from the war have been related to public brawling.
Any theories on why he didn't simply shoot you when he had the chance?
I'll be sure to ask him when I bring him in.
That's assuming you get the opportunity.
She just might. We may have a lead. This morning, West German custom officials in Hamburg discovered several suspicious-looking chemical containers aboard a Finnish cargo freighter. Fortunately, these chaps decided to inform us rather than seizing the contraband outright, which gives us a chance to conduct a covert investigation.
You believe this is the link to Dr. Schenker?
It could well be. If so, given the specific chemicals found aboard the freighter, it's a fairly safe bet the kidnappers are not only aware of Dr. Schenker's research, but also determined to capitalize upon it.
If our theories are correct, the kidnappers are in Hamburg or will be arriving shortly. A good spy could find them. Fortunately, we're sending a good spy on this mission. You'll be working with him.
A new partner?
More like a supervisor.
An American named Thomas Goodman. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Aye, but I thought he was killed in Amsterdam.
Nearly. He's a resourceful chap, though. Made a daring escape on a stolen bicycle with half the Dutch police force in hot pursuit and KGB agents waiting in ambush around every corner. Smashing story. I'm sure he'll recount it if you ask him. At any rate, you're to rendezvous with him in Germany and see what the two of you can dig up. You'll take your orders directly from him during this mission.
Thank God.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Agent Archer?
Yes, sir?
What was it like falling out of that plane?
I promise to tell you about it sometime.
I tell you she's a liability.
Perhaps, but I'm not convinced yet.
What will it take to convince you? How many more catastrophes must we suffer through? Because keeping her on the active list will lead to further disasters. Of that, I'm certain.
Yes, I can see that you are.
Our purpose is to preserve freedom, to protect innocent lives, to combat evil wherever it manifests. We can't afford to tolerate anything that stands in the way of that goal. The girl may be spirited, but she's virtually incompetent.
I admire your sense of duty, but I question your judgment. I can't say that at my prime I would have performed any better than she under the circumstances.
You're assuming her reports are entirely genuine. Personally, I wouldn't be at all surprised to learn that she'd coloured the facts. The bloody things read like adventure novels.
So now you're indicting her credibility?
Does that seem unreasonable? The girl was a thief, for goodness sakes. A little skepticism seems prudent.
I'll take it under advisement.
Look, it's not too late to pull her off the assignment. I've read the American's file. He's perfectly capable of handling an operation like this on his own.
Probably so. But I have the strangest feeling a woman's touch is exactly what we need on this one.
I can't argue with you when you're like this.
No, you can't.
I hope you realize you're letting yourself be ruled by intuition. Reason tends to make a far more reliable counselor.
You might ruminate on that adage yourself.
How am I going to get in there?
I demand to be let in.
I'm sorry. That's impossible.
But my girlfriend is inside.
I understand that, but I can't let you in.
Can I at least go find her?
Sadly, no.
Why not?
Because the club is full. Nobody else is allowed.
Well, can you go find her for me?
I must stay here.
Then can you send someone to find her?
Everyone is busy. You will just have to wait.
I want to speak to someone in charge.
As I said, everyone is busy. If you come back tomorrow after 10 a.m., perhaps you can speak with someone then.
But my girlfriend is in there now.
Perhaps you should have come together. Then you would not be in this situation, and I would not have to listen to you shouting at me.
I'm just getting warmed up.
It's not my fault that you're out here and she is in there. It is your fault. She is your girlfriend. You should have known better than to ask her to wait for you inside a club that is known to fill up every single night.
Can I please just go and find her?
I said no, and I meant it. Now go away or I will call the police.
Is it always this crowded? Yeah, the place fills up every night. People come for the music. Do you think they'll let us in? I doubt it. I have to get in there. Really? Well, let me help you. I'll distract the bouncer so you can climb in through that window. Watch out for the camera, though. Thanks. My pleasure. Have fun.
Style.
See you soon.
I'll count every minute.
You will excuse me. This is all I have time for this evening. Thank you, thank you. Perhaps I will sing for you later. What is so important you need to interrupt me in the middle of a performance? You know how these people treasure my concerts. Now they will lament.
Das tut mir leid, Fräulein Wagner.
Of course, if they are sad, they will buy more drinks to drown their sorrows, which is good for business. But it troubles me to know that someone is unhappy because I was unable to give enough of myself. A gift like mine comes with terrible responsibility, you know.
Yeah, and you have so much of yourself to give.
Even such pathetic, horrible creatures as these smelly beatniks deserve some sympathy, yeah? Now then, perhaps you will care to remind me why I am talking instead of singing.
Fräulein Wagner, the superstar is here. What should we do?
So, the fly has rung the doorbell of the spider. You did the right thing. Let her have a few drinks. When she goes to the water closet, grab her and bring her to me. Am I understood?
Jawohl.
Good. Watch her closely. She is not to leave under any circumstances.
It will be done as you have asked.
If you succeed, perhaps I will be convinced to sing for you. Would you like that?
Very much so, Fräulein Wagner. It would be a great honor.
Then make me happy. When I am happy, I sing like a nightingale in springtime. Would you care for a light?
Thanks, but I don't smoke.
You're holding a cigarette.
Am I? Well, what do you know? I guess old habits die hard. Say, can I borrow a dime? I want to call my mom and tell her I just met the girl of my dreams.
I gave my last dime to a worthwhile charity.
Ouch. I wasn't expecting a woman.
You weren't briefed?
They just said meet Agent Archer at 8 p.m.
Well, I'm Agent Archer.
So I gathered.
Didn't the code phrase tip you off?
I thought it was a little unusual, but I figured, hey, it's Europe. Things are different over here.
Scotch and soda. Will you have a drink?
Old Granddad. Bring the bottle, a tumbler, and a bowl of ice.
Goodness, are you celebrating?
Compensating, actually.
How sad for you.
So tell me, Ms. Archer.
Oh, now don't start with that.
What?
There's no need to patronize me.
Was I patronizing you?
Yes, you were.
Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't realize I was going to have to babysit on this assignment.
I may be a woman, but that doesn't mean I can't take care of myself.
Oh, I get it. You're one of those women's libbers. Dress up in men's clothing, ride motorcycles, smoke cigars, that kind of thing.
Just because I can take care of myself doesn't mean I'm not a woman. They're not mutually exclusive, you know.
But isn't the point of women's liberation to allow young ladies like yourself to become men?
The point is to allow young ladies to become whatever they please.
Ouch. Well, if you're as deadly with a pistol as you are with your tongue, you can watch both our backs.
All right, I will. So what's the plan?
Well, the first thing is to find out who the goon is. You're being watched. If you can lure him someplace quiet, I'll jump him and find out what he's after.
That's very noble of you, but I think I can handle that little fellow.
Suit yourself.
Where should I ambush him?
Try the ladies' room.
What? You think he'll follow me into the loo?
Heck yeah, look at him. He's concentrating so hard on not being noticed, he'd probably follow you into heavy traffic without a second thought. Anyway, you'll certainly be justified interrogating him, won't you?
I'd be justified in doing worse than that.
Just make sure you question him first. I'll be waiting by the stage.
Be wary of the operetta. It's a bit enthusiastic.
I can take it.
Ow! Looking for someone?
Mach schnell!
What now? About time things livened up.
Did you find out anything?
I was ambushed before I could question the bastard.
You okay?
I suppose, although I think someone might have tried to drug me. Something stung the back of my neck as I was heading for the ladies' room. Might have been a dart.
How do you feel now?
Not bad.
Meet me at this address in 1 hour.
Why not go together?
I want to poke around and see who these people are. They may be linked to harm.
Are you sure it's safe?
Hell no, it's reckless and dumb, but that's not going to stop me.
Well, good luck then. What should I do if you don't make it?
Don't worry, doll. I'll make it.
If you say so.
Head backstage. A friend of mine's waiting in the alley. He'll get you out of here. Just tell him you're with me.
You think he'll believe me?
He will if you tell him my code name.
I don't know your code name.
Bold Eagle.
Good God.
What's so funny?
Nothing. See you later, Bold Eagle.
Not if I see you first.
Okay. weitergehen Dank. Und I will crush you!
What was the name of that nightclub again?
Das einsame Valkyrie.
Ah, yes, here it is. The proprietor's name is Wagner. Inga Wagner. Ring any bells?
We've got a file on her. She's supposedly a distant relation of Richard Wagner's, although I don't believe that connection has ever been adequately established. Nonetheless, as a child, she was constantly pressured by her parents to become an opera singer, presumably in order to continue the family legacy. The only problem was that she was completely tone-deaf. The combination of her parents' unyielding devotion and the inevitable series of rejections she encountered once she began to audition seems to have warped her mind in unhealthy ways. As a young woman, she had several run-ins with the West German authorities, initially involving complaints about her impromptu public concerts, but eventually blossoming into allegations of smuggling, extortion, money laundering, and even murder. It's entirely possible she's fallen in with harm.
Find out what you can.
Very good, sir.
Be careful, Archer.
I'll be fine. I'm so bloody bored. I never have any fun. Me neither.
It's about damn time I said 1 hour, not at your convenience.
Things got complicated. Your friend was killed, the one I was supposed to meet behind the club.
What? Damn it! Poor bastard.
It was a trap.
Well, I hope you don't mind walking into another one. Looks like someone's expecting us. There's bad guys all over the place.
I met a few on the way here. They were very unfriendly.
Well, don't worry, I've got a plan. We just need a diversion.
Easier said than done.
I'm a professional, sister. I took the liberty of planting some time bombs. That ought to get their attention. After what happened at the club, I didn't want to take any chances.
Excellent. When do the fireworks begin?
Well, there's just one problem. When you didn't show up after an hour, I got nervous and deactivated the timers. We'll have to reset them. There are 4 in that warehouse over there. If you can take care of those, I'll tend to the others.
How will I find them?
I stuck them to fuel barrels. You just have to keep your eyes open. Once you find them, set them to go off at 11:15. That'll give us half an hour. Meet me back here when you're done. And don't be late this time.
I'll do my best.
Grab a seat. It's almost showtime.
I hope this works.
It'll work. Damn, looks like they're leaving some guards behind. Well, I guess it's better than dealing with all of them. Wish me luck.
Wish you luck?
What, you thought I was gonna let you handle this? It's way too dangerous.
Is that so?
Absolutely.
Why? Because I'm a woman? What did I tell you about patronizing me?
Just drop the Joan of Arc routine, okay? I've got a lot more field experience than you do.
I've read your file. Subtlety isn't really your specialty, is it?
I can be subtle.
Then explain that shirt.
What's wrong with it?
Look, I've spent most of my life getting into places I'm not supposed to be. Anyway, if I do get into trouble, I'll be needing a knight in shining armor to come to my rescue, won't I?
Well, when you put it that way.
Good, then I'm off.
Wait, how are you planning to get aboard? You can't just waltz up the gangplank.
I'll figure something out.
You really don't like this shirt?
Ciao. Armstrong! There are you! I demand an explanation.
Explanation for what?
Heinrich tells me the girl is still alive. Perhaps you did not understand my orders.
Your orders? Ha! You don't give me orders.
She was to be liquidated. Why did you spare her?
I'll not slay a countryman without a fair fight. The girl's just doing her job.
She's a threat to our operation. I'm sure the director would agree with me.
Then, you kill her.
Coward.
Fatty.
Drunk.
Fatty. Well, let's go.
What about the cargo?
You're welcome to fetch it, fatty. As for me, I'm getting off this boat before she sinks.
But the operation?
We can replace the cargo, but I'm one of a kind, if you take my meaning.
The director will not be pleased.
Then stay here and show your devotion. I'll nail up a commemorative plaque for you in the ladies' room of that wretched nightclub of yours.
I can't help it if my beautiful cabaret is infested with beatniks. I've tried to get rid of them, but they're like roaches.
Probably because they think you sing like that on purpose. Experimental jazz or some such shite.
Clatton?
Enough of this jabbering. You're out of my way. Your hideous mask is blocking the bulkhead.
Fabulous cigars, Carlyle. Absolutely fabulous.
Aren't they? A close personal acquaintance of mine is in the import-export business. Gets them direct from Havana. Care for another?
Don't mind if I do. After you smoke that one, you really ought to try one of these. Not Cuban, but I challenge you to tell the difference.
Shall we turn it into a wager?
Jolly good. Smashing.
I only wish the Commissioner were here to fatten the pot.
Here I am. Commissioner, good of you to join us. We're just about to embark on a little bet.
Gordon here contends that his non-Cuban cigars will dupe seasoned connoisseurs like us.
Rubbish. Hear, hear. You'll feast upon those words soon enough, old chaps.
Frankly, I'd rather smoke them and wash them down with some more of this fine cognac.
Isn't it divine? No, smashing. What's the matter, Commissioner? You look a mite wan.
Pale as cheese.
Are you quite all right? I'm not sure. On my way here, a big bald chap with an eye patch poked me in the leg with his umbrella. I've been a bit gassy ever since.
I say!
What a rude fellow. No wonder you're upset. I hope he apologized. Actually, he said au revoir and handed me a lily.
Room 201. Any messages for me?
No, ma'am. Well, hello there. I let myself in. I hope you don't mind.
I could have shot you.
But then you would have felt guilty.
Don't be so sure.
Oh, come on, be nice.
You might have warned me you were planning to blow up the bloody ship.
I wasn't expecting you to be aboard long enough for it to matter. After all that talk about how sneaky you are, I figured you'd get aboard, grab the stuff, and get back off.
Things got complicated.
I've heard that before.
Probably from your mother. What the hell were you thinking, anyway?
Well, between the shipping manifest, the captain's log, and your photos, I figured we'd have what we came for. So why not inconvenience the bad guys a little?
There's only one problem. I don't have the manifest or the captain's log.
Oh, that's just perfect. Never send a woman to do a man's work.
Hey, it was your surprise demolition work that got us into this mess.
If you'd done your job, it wouldn't have been an issue.
How could I do my job when the whole bloody ship was going down? You nearly got me killed.
All right, I'm sorry I didn't warn you. Are you happy now?
Not much of an apology, but I guess it'll have to do.
Did you at least manage to place a beacon in the radio room?
I did.
Well, I hope you're up for a swim.
Room service!
You ordered room service?
Get down! You must have been followed. Listen, head for the safe house and grab some scuba gear. I'll arrange for a boat.
Right. Any recommendations on how we get out of here?
It's you I'm worried about. They know your face.
All right, in that case, any recommendations on how I get out of here?
Are you afraid of heights?
I'm comfortable with anything under cruising altitude.
All right then, head for the roof. They won't expect that. I saw a fire escape in the back. You should be able to get down that way. Try to slip out of here without being seen.
I'll do my best.
She got away.
What did you say? I don't think I heard you.
She,
Say it!
She got away.
How is that possible? Perhaps you feel the odds were in her favor.
Nein, Fräulein Wagner.
Then you're admitting that you failed?
Jawohl, Fräulein Wagner. I should be punished.
My thoughts exactly. But how shall I punish you?
Electrocution would be painful, or perhaps a good beating. But I beg of you, please do not deprive me of the chance to hear you sing. I do not think I could take the pain.
Is that so? Then you have just decided your punishment. You will be prohibited from attending my motivational concerts for 1 week. For 2 weeks.
Please, be merciful.
I do not find pleasure in hurting you this way. But without proper discipline, this organization would fall to ruin. Kaput.
I understand. No singing for 2 weeks! Waha!
On second thought, perhaps that punishment is too inhumane. Let's go with electrocution instead,
Jawohl, Fräulein Wagner.
We should be directly over the wreckage. You'd better get going.
What happened to the chivalry? You're not going to tell me it's too dangerous for a wee little lass to go down there by herself.
I'm not the one that left the manifest and the captain's log aboard the ship.
Well, I'm not the one that scuttled the damn thing.
You want me to go?
No, I just wanted to argue about it. Wish me luck.
Make sure you get the shipping manifest and the captain's log. Oh, and if you see a half-empty bottle of Lafroig floating about in my quarters, I'd be much obliged if you'd retrieve it for me.
Yes, sir.
You disgust me.
So?
You are a drunk and a coward.
You can say what you please about my hobbies and my hygiene, but I swear if you ever cast aspersions on my manhood again, I'll pound you. I'm not a coward.
Your threats don't frighten me.
A good beating might knock some of that ugly out of you. Care to find out?
I will be in my quarters rehearsing. I am not to be disturbed.
That's right. It's the rest of us who'll be disturbed, you bloody great banshee. I heard cats in heat that sing prettier than you.
Criticism is the refuge of those without the talent or discipline for the pursuit of art. I pity you.
And well, you should. You call that belling of yours art. Fart is more like it.
Imbecile.
Fatty, fatty, fatty. Fatty, fat. Fatty, fatty.
Any luck?
Aye, mostly bad. I was ambushed.
Ambushed?
Yeah, by divers. They came out of nowhere. Did you see anything up here?
Not a damn thing.
Well, I got what we came for. Let's head for shore.